All right. Welcome back to the episode of Shall I Proceed podcast. I am excited to be here once again with you from the comforts of my home during quarantine, COVID-19 pandemic BS. As you know, life has changed. We're all adjusting. And I said I need to go ahead and get back in the seat and put some shows out and talk about some things that is on everyone's mind, but not the usual thing. So I'm super excited today to have with me a great friend, colleague, podcast sister, a veteran to the show, family, Janae
Yes.
Stickland-Nunn from
Hey
Confessions from
guys.
the Red Couch.
Hey guys. Hey. Ooh, I'm back.
Yes,
Okay.
welcome back. And let everyone know Janae is the creator, host, CEO, boss, big boss of Confessions from a
Big
Red
boss.
Couch blog and merchandise, educator, mom, wife, all
Ooh.
entrepreneur,
Ooh.
doing it. And I wanted to have Janae here today to talk about COVID-19 and how you're feeling as an educator during this time. This is a big shift. This went from spring break to all of a sudden you're not coming back to now school year
Yeah.
is done. We're doing everything online. So I really want to talk to you and get your expertise on that. And also as a coach, the students and what you think they may be going through, who reached out to you about this, and
Yeah.
also what parents may be doing incorrectly during this time. I don't want to say wrong or messing up because we don't want to give
Just
anyone negative energy, but as an
yeah.
educator, you know the frustrations are different. So I want to say
It
thank you
is.
for coming on, Janae.
You're
Welcome
welcome.
back. How are
You're
you?
welcome. You're welcome. So actually it's been an anxiety ridden like roller coaster. I've been blessed. The district that I worked for, we already had an online platform in place. So our kids kind of like it was weird because they didn't have us in front of them. But we could just kind of flow into that what we were already doing. So so that part wasn't hard, but making sure we are taking care of the needs of the kids is kind of our thing, because people don't realize when we enter that school building, we're not just, teachers aren't just in it to get weekends, holidays, and summers off. Like, if that's what you're doing it for the wrong reason, and you should be burnt out by now, to be perfectly honest. But we are in it to form relationships and bonds with our kids. And a lot of our kids, they come to school to get our support. They come into that building to get, not only their friends support, but sometimes that teacher is that extra adult that's in their corner that they could count on. And I think about my kids who, I mean, I miss their faces so much. I had a tutorial session with them where I don't get to see them, but they get to hear me, and I get to hear them. And I just told them, I was like, I miss your faces. Like, I miss interacting with them every day and making sure that they're okay and making good decisions and choices. And it's hard. It's hard because, the content is easy. That part is easy, but it's just looking out for the welfare of my students, making sure, I'm hoping that they ate, they've eaten food, or, the ones who come from troubled homes, I'm hoping that they're mentally okay, and it's just tough to, to just try to, you can't separate yourself. You just can't,
And I
no matter
think people
how
don't
much you want to.
realize, and I really think that I really feel there's a big distinction between true teachers at heart and
Mm-hmm.
soul, and
Mm-hmm.
people just doing it to do it because
Yeah,
that's what I
it
have to do
is.
to do something else. And
Mhm.
following social media, talking to friends, family, and there's so many that are like, they were good the first week and a half, maybe
Yeah.
two. Now it's like,
Yeah.
I miss my students, I miss their faces.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I think the biggest thing, and this is my opinion, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I think the biggest thing that you just hit on was, it's not only like about the content. You
Yeah,
see
it's
these
not.
kids every day, 5 days
Mhm.
a week for hours on
Mhm.
end.
Yep.
beginning of their day to the end of their
Mhm.
day. So you
Mhm.
see more of their emotional roller coasters, mood swings that their parents
Yes.
see.
Mhm.
You may have students, or educators may have students who can talk to you more than can talk to their parents.
Truth.
Um,
That's true.
the increase right now that I've been noticing in abuse at homes right now,
Mhm.
domestic, and what the
Yep.
kids, that may have been their escape.
Mhm.
And many kids, their 2 good meals a day came from school, you
That's it
know.
right there. And
And
like I know now, districts are working, we have meal programs, for those families who do need food. Because people are not well off just because your kid is in public education. That doesn't mean no one is well off. And especially now with people are being furloughed from their jobs. It's hard. It's hard. And so, they, like you said, they could depend on those 2 meals a day from school. But now, the little that they did have, they can't even depend on that. I have kids who are working now who had to get a job
yes,
when all this started in order to, bring more money into the family because dad lost his job. There's nothing else dad can do. Dad has to wait around for a little bit, but guess what? You can work too. And so that's kind of the
and the
thing.
sad thing about that is there's still schoolwork that needs to be done.
Yes.
Granted, you don't have to be
Yep.
there for the computer 8 hours a
Mhm.
day, but
Yeah.
great. They just announced Thursday or Friday, that the kids are out of school to the end of the school year. That's a guarantee. You're
Yes.
not going back till
Mhm.
fall.
You're
So
not
with
going
that
back.
being said, like you just said, there's a lot of kids now who are getting jobs at the stores that are essential
Yeah.
because they need the help,
They
one,
need the money.
and they
They
need
have
the
to help.
money. They need to
Mhm.
escape their house,
Yep, that
or
too.
the parents are on furlough, and unemployment hotline was a beast to get a hold of.
Right? It
These
was
kids are now
crazy.
experiencing what our grandparents, great grandparents experienced, where you probably went to
Mhm.
school till 6th grade, and then that's it.
Mhm.
You need to help fend for
And
this
now you got to
family.
be out here. Yeah, now you got to be out here making money.
Yeah,
And that's kind
responsibility
of,
is, yeah, it's
yep.
different. And they're, think
Mhm.
about the high school seniors who are not going to have a great graduation.
No, not
Some
at all.
states are
Like
doing
even
no.
our district, it's called off. Like there's no, because we still have to deal with the mandate, of the social distancing. And if your school, I mean, we have how many kids graduating? 800 and something graduating. How do you social distance? Like the only thing I could think of is you do a certain amount of the alphabet each day of the week,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's the only thing that you could
And
do is
only
like,
and let them invite the
mm-hmm,
two parents or one parent, let them spread out
that's it.
in the auditorium, and then okay, do
Yep.
it in
And then,
waves.
okay, good job, guys. Next group. Like that's
Mhm.
it. That's
So what do
yeah.
you think?
It's. Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go.
No, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead, girl.
Oh, I was just saying it's just crazy to think about that. And when you were talking about the kids and grades and doing all that and working. So you have to think, I don't think people also think about this, the parents who have to work from home and the kids who have to do their work as well. And
Yeah.
there's only one laptop and there's multiple kids in the house.
Yeah.
That's why I think it was TEA who mandated us to we can only take one grade a week now. And this grading period can't hurt them. There's no way. So whatever they may last, the only thing it could do is improve their grade. But it's so many like we have a new grading policy because of this situation. Because like you said, we have kids, well, the parents work, the kids will work. I have emails at 2:00 in the morning from kids saying, "Hey, Miss Strickland, how do you do this?" And it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay, girl, I got you." It's like,
Yeah.
so it's
And what
not.
about the
It's
parents emailing you freaking out?
that too. Like I had a bunch of parents who were like, "I don't know what to do," and I was like, "You do." Same thing we've been doing all year long. And and we sent things out before. We like my district is I'm happy to be where I'm at because we're on it before we even like started back into like doing classwork. We all the teachers sent all of their parents like instructions on how to log in. This is what the format, you could tell the format's going to be. If you need any extra assistance, let us know. We can make sure that you get it. So I kudos to my district. I do love where I work. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
I just think that with, I spoke with Jason Phillips, our mutual friend,
Yeah.
life coach and licensed therapist, talking about the coping skills and what to do and healthy habits during this time, and just trying to maintain, healthy mental, spiritual, physical wellness, and not just for, we're adults, so we only see the adult things online, but these kids are dealing as well. And it's a new way of approach that we can't just say, get over it. We need to let them go through their feelings and go through those emotions. I worry about the kids who need that interaction.
Yeah.
This is developmental time for these kids who are like in elementary school and junior high, and building those friendships towards the end of the school year, and just now the constant worry of when the next pandemic's around the corner. We talk
when
about
the next
kids
thing is
being immature,
happen.
but they're growing up real quick right now during this time.
They are. I feel like they always have to deal with, when's the shoe gonna drop? When's the next shoe gonna drop? Like this generation, they've seen, just everything. They're born between
shootings.
Yeah, they're born between 9/11 and COVID. Like you said, school shootings, bullying, suicide rates are soaring. And then this adds to something else. And it's like, goodness, like what else can we? So parents, this is my thing for parents. I know you're frustrated too. And I know this is hard, but just kind of take it easy on your kid. Like, let them, like you said, let them feel their feelings, and you really have to let them talk through their feelings, because usually the thing that they get from us teachers, we give them a voice. We allow them to talk out their feelings, tell us how they feel, and we get our schoolwork done, but that's what we allow. And so parents, right now, that is crucial to your kids. Yeah. You need to hear them and understand them. I know it's hard. It's hard for all of us, but just hear your kids. Let them talk. Let them tell you things, because they don't get to do it with their friends as much as they used. They don't get to do it with their friends, and they don't get to do it with us. So now, parents, you are it.
I just really hope this. I was telling Jason, and I talked to friends of mine and just colleagues about. I really have been at peace during this time. And I feel guilty about that, because I really have taken this time to try to think of ways to come out of this as a better person.
Right. Yeah.
And try not to feed into the negative, because as you know, this has been, when I tell you, I was mentally and also physically exhausted just watching the news, hearing the news, seeing people post, just unplugging. That's why I didn't come back earlier. I could have. There was ways of doing it. But I was just like, I don't even want to talk during this moment. Like, I don't want to.
Hard.
It's because I don't want to be another negative voice. Right now, will anyone receive positivity?
Right.
Positive right now, when there's one thing we're all going through is COVID-19. That's the one thing we're all going through. Like, that's the
everybody
constant. But some are working, some are not. Some are eating, some are not.
Some are not.
Some have the luxury of always working from home, so it's not anything different. Some are not. Some of us, like myself, I have no kids. I don't have to worry about homeschooling anyone. Only my mouth to feed in my home.
Right.
So I feel like, how dare I even offer up anything when my situation is different? And it's funny to me, though, looking at it, on the flip of it is, I hope people appreciate teachers now. I really hope people, this shows you pay needs to be better.
Right.
Why are y'all paying for your own supplies? Why? Because look, the parents are free. The parents lost their damn mind.
Parents are freaking out, and all they have to do, like most school districts are giving out Google Chrome, like Chromebooks. They're giving them to them. You get what I'm saying? And then if you don't have Wi-Fi, they'll give you a Chromebook with a hotspot. So you can give your whole house, you know what I'm saying?
And the funny thing is,
Wi-Fi.
it goes into...
We don't get that.
it goes into, it exposes this, to me, COVID-19, Corona is exposing in every arena of work, in every career, in everything.
Yes.
Is being exposed. One, for the parents, is exposing once again the ones who were really disconnected even when life was regular. Because I've seen people complain about parents asking, do you have a printer at home for worksheets? Why are they asking me that question?
Why they ask me?
All these things went out before officially your kids would have to stay home. So what are you not paying attention to?
Yeah, so now I'm getting, well, why do we have so much homework? Ma'am, you don't have any. It's only one grade a week. Like these modules, these things that I have my kids doing, maybe 20 minutes a day. Maybe. And then most of my kids get it all done in 1 week, in 1 day. Yep. So to tell me that it's too much work means that you were tripping before. You weren't paying attention before all of this when I was emailing you, telling you, hey, little Johnny ain't doing his work. Yep. Well, what you want me to do about it? You his mama. You help me out. I'm trying to be, we on the same team. You tell me.
And it's just, and that's the humor that I find in it, because right now I am thoroughly enjoying the forced appreciation of essential workers. Yeah. So that person who used to sack your groceries and you didn't give him a look or a time of the day, you show him taking them groceries right now, who's found you in the back a roll of toilet paper. That same cashier you wouldn't even give, you used to just like, didn't even want to get the change from their hand.
Get the change out of their hand. Now you wish you had somebody to touch.
When you see somebody cleaning them restrooms in them stores, you're real happy about it, aren't you?
Right.
That same restaurant worker that you gave them an attitude, you're sure happy they open or bring you on the go food, aren't you?
And some of them aren't. Most of the people who you see bringing the food are managers. Those are the ones who have to serve, because now they can only have a certain amount of people in the store. So you're hourly workers. So now that manager that you wanted to complain to about their worker that they trained and they knew their worker was good, now you got to face that manager. And what you gonna tell the manager? Can I talk to your manager? This it right here. So what else we got to talk about?
How dare you complain for something not being right now?
Right.
And everyone that you thought wasn't important right now is keeping you afloat to stay at home. Yeah. You're able to order groceries online, and when you pull up, somebody is right there hustling about to put it in your trunk. And who you didn't even look at before, I bet you like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Because the store now is your escape from your kids in the house. It's just, I just really hope that this brings a better appreciation for you and everyone in your field, and that parents at home come fall are like, okay, listen, because it's reported we may have another wave of Corona in the fall.
Especially, but you got to think about it, especially since everybody's talking about opening up everything.
Yes.
We haven't even spiked. Like most countries, their death tolls are higher than us and their rates are higher than us because they have the test to give to everybody. They're testing everybody. America hasn't tested everybody. Nope. Like it's optional. Do you want to get tested? No. I could have it right now. I could be asymptomatic and have it. Yep. It wouldn't know it. Wouldn't know it. Because we're not testing everybody, but we're making it seem like, oh, it's safe to go outside. Y'all could go outside. What's that meme that says, I'm gonna let y'all go out, the first round go out and let the air hit y'all first.
See you in June.
Yeah. We'll let the air hit y'all first and see what happens. I'm not.
How do you think, I know you used to be a coach for many years, and this is your first year not coaching. And I know you're still, once you're a coach, you're always a coach. I don't care what anybody says. Once you're a coach, you're always a coach. That's a whole nother level of, education. That's like,
believe me,
that's something totally different.
Yeah.
So for those seniors right now, So
Mm-hmm.
football, they're set. They had their season.
Yeah, football had their season.
Basketball kind of had their season.
They got finished.
The
Basketball, I
track
think.
did not have their season.
Track, baseball, softball,
And soccer.
Soccer didn't finish their season.
So baseball didn't finish
Mm-mm.
or
Softball
even start.
Yeah.
Definitely track was in the they weren't even in the middle of their track season yet.
No, they were in like the first 3 track meets. They hadn't even gotten to like the next phase. Like I like to call it the getting ready for the championship phase.
I mean, like for Texas, we got Texas relays out here. I mean, we have state. I mean, there's things you look forward to.
Let me tell you, I knew this was serious when they called off Texas relays. When they were like, no, Texas relays is canceled. I was like, we're not, this isn't okay, guys. Like, when people were like, oh, they won't cancel nothing. Like, you can't say that. Like, we still don't know how it's being transmitted. So,
but what I want to ask you is, if you've been in contact and for those seniors who are graduating who was relying on this season for scholarship opportunities.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
It's not like they're not okay. Most of them, like for track, if you were fast as a junior, that kind of helps you out, and that and a lot of kids actually signed early. I was seeing that from some of my old colleagues, coaching colleagues. They had them sign early this year, so that was really smart. They got it out the way, so they don't have to worry about those scholarship opportunities. But for those who, and I've seen it plenty of times where you have a senior who just blossoms, they get fast, they just, and you like, come on, you see the progress and what's about to happen. And it's just sad because there's nothing they can really do. You can't run summer track. Like, I don't think they're going to be able to do summer track, so it's just like one of those things, like they could walk on a team, but you also have to think about what colleges are going through right now. Their athletic programs are going through. They have seniors who didn't finish. They have, so it's just a lot. And for most, it's emotionally draining for them. I actually have an athlete. She was getting ready for the Olympic trials this summer. She's a high jumper. Like she's like top 10. She's up there, like top 10 in the US and really, high in the world. And now she has to wait until next year, because they postponed the Olympics until next year.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's just a lot. Like from high school on up, it's a lot. Like this is a lot, and I don't know. My heart goes out to them. The only thing I can do is be like, you got it next year. You got a whole nother year. But to those graduating seniors that were dependent on this year, there's nothing you can really say.
And that's heartbreaking. And I just think, we're at the emotional reality of, I think, COVID-19 at the beginning of it, with media in the US, nowhere else. And if you look at some of the old reports of how, President Trump was thinking it was some hoax that the Democrats was doing, you have reporters on Fox talking about this is not real. And now they're eating their words, literally eating their words. And I just think that, and, for me, I started taking it serious in March. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to work. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging out. Like, no, I'm not hanging. And when they shut down the rodeo, I said, oh yeah, this is y'all playing games.
Yeah.
Hanging
like
out
y'all,
is not that important. Hanging out is not that important, people. Stop it.
I think at one point I remember at first I was like, like everybody else, because you listen to the news and you're like, oh, it's only older people catching it. I'm good. And then you start to hear you start to really think about it. Like I had to get out of my whole, selfish mode. Like I got stuff I got to do, and you take yourself out of selfish mode and you like, nah, girl, it ain't really, this stuff ain't as serious as you keeping your health. Stay over in the house, and like you said, when they canceled the rodeo and all these festivals, and I was like,
to me,
guess I'll be in the house.
I mean, I know people try to compare this to other diseases, and y'all don't care about cancer. And it's like the difference with everything is severe, and I don't feel anyone is truly saying one is more severe than the
We're
other.
not.
The thing
Yeah.
about it is the degree of separation with this is slim. I personally know people right now
Same.
recovering from coronavirus. I know
Same.
people who have direct family who has just found out they have it.
Yeah.
I know
Same.
people who have lost. A friend of mine told me yesterday, I have 3 friends who lost their parents right now to COVID in
See?
Louisiana.
See?
I
Yeah.
I know people
Who
who
have lost, who are
are
affected.
recovering from it. Like literally
Mm-hmm.
call me up,
Yeah.
Erlene, I'm letting you know right now, just keep me in your prayers because I tested positive. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
And
And now it's
so
like,
fucked up is the environment they work in is what caused
mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
An essential worker
Yeah.
who doesn't have the
Essential
luxury of
worker.
staying
Now
at
you got
home.
it. Yep.
Yeah. Who has to work until you get sick. And once you get sick, go home. But by that time, you already made who else sick? Everybody's sick.
Who else did you make sick? Yeah. Who else, like I said, who else is positive but not showing symptoms? Like, what are we doing? What are we literally doing? And to see these people protest the state, are you kidding me? You know what? Y'all could go, I keep saying, y'all could go out there. I'm going to stay in my lovely home that's very peaceful and serene. And, I'll talk to my friends on Zoom, you know, but I'm not about to rush to get out there to do what? What's out there? The virus? Like what else is out there that's so important that you need to like protest opening up
My
stuff?
stress level went up so high when Governor Abbott
Mm-hmm.
announced, when President Trump went on television saying, okay, we're going to start opening up, but I'm leaving it up to each state to open up how they want to open up. It needs to be done in 3 phases. The 3 phases
Yeah.
make sense. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that makes sense. You phase in how you open. I'm not upset.
Right.
I think it's lined out pretty decently, the 3 phases. I
Yeah.
just feel
Mm-hmm.
personally, I wouldn't even be talking about opening up until the end of May. Like, let's
Same.
see what happens. We get more testing, we get people more tested. Let the
Mm-hmm.
school year end. Let people
Yep.
relax, let the kids relax,
Yep.
see what happens.
Yep.
So when they said that, my stress level went all the way up. And then
Mm-hmm.
I work for the city, and
Yeah.
we're talking about, okay, how do we now open up in these phases for people, because the phone
Exactly.
calls coming. Y'all gonna
Yeah.
open? Y'all gonna be
Y'all gonna open?
at
When
a
y'all gonna
library?
open?
We're at the library. But you know what? And it's all about how do you do it, because it won't be the
Mm-hmm.
same environment. It won't be the
Mm-mm.
same thing.
Right. Do you make sure everybody has to have, do you make it like everyone has to wear a mask?
Yes,
You make it to where like it can, like we said, it's only a certain amount of people that could come in at a time.
absolutely.
So you're going to have a line outside and you have to continue to stay 6 feet apart. Like, to me, what are we rushing for? We're rushing to do that, like.
And for what we're doing, we're not even opening to the public per se. We're going to allow them to do curbside pickup. So that means
Yeah.
pop your trunk. We're no longer going to be, here's your stuff. No, pop your
Yeah.
trunk.
Pop your trunk and
Start
then,
talking with
yeah.
masks and gloves on.
Mm-hmm.
In the building, you cannot be more than so many feet away from each other.
Right.
No
Yeah.
one's going to be in the same environment. Luckily, I have my own office, so it's like,
Yeah. So you're good. Yeah.
but it's just the fact of so many things have to go into play that's
Mm-hmm.
becoming habit that I feel will never be broken going forward.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We're
So
gonna be we're gonna, like you said, we're gonna be like the Great Depression generation who,
yeah,
how you see them hoarding things. Like, we're gonna be doing some of the, like, why are you 6 feet apart from that person? Oh, because, well, let me tell you what happened.
intimacy will be different.
It's gonna
Intimacy
be our
will
new
be very
normal.
different. It
Mm-hmm.
will it will no longer be. And the sad thing is, when you study these things in school and you do your reading, we all need intimacy of some kind. We do need
We
physical
do.
touch.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't, if you don't have family like that right now, if you don't have
Yeah.
a spouse or a mate, someone special in your life right now, before
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19, what
Like, what you doing?
you doing?
I'm actually, I don't mean to plug my show, but
Go ahead,
so
go.
I record on Wednesday, and that's what we're going to talk about. My guess, we're going to talk about dating during COVID. Like, how is that happening? Because I read a bunch of blogs. I just wanted to see what people were doing. What changes have people made, and craziness. Some of it's crazy, and some of it's like, okay, you're doing, but it's like it goes from Zoom dates to you meet somebody before quarantine, you're hanging out, quarantine happens, you like, hey, why don't we move in together to see how this is gonna go? Let's quarantine together.
Janae,
It's like,
I don't understand how many proposals I have seen and instant marriages. Some of the ones I've seen make sense because they've been engaged. Like, okay,
yeah, come to it. Froze, sis.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. We're back.
Okay, we're back.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, people. Well, obviously I'm looking at engagements. I'm like, you engaged? Like, where's this coming from?
Like, y'all were dating?
But this goes into that, I don't know what it's called, but it touched on it. I'm gonna reference a movie. Remember Speed with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock?
Yeah.
And after all that adrenaline, they started dating. Speed 2, you find out they broke up because that kind of high that attracts you to someone,
it wears off.
It wears off.
It does.
And it's just, I just think that some people, like you said, I'm gonna have to listen to that show when you do. It's gonna be interesting to see, because if you're socially awkward, this may be the best thing right now for you to kind of ease into dating, because you can have the distance and then gradually work up to something intimate.
Work up to some of this stuff. And it's not just, don't just jump in, girl. Like,
but there's people who are like, yeah, I met someone and it just kind of happened. Like, how y'all just kind of no, you have your place, I have mine. If we trust each other during this time and we want to say, well, let's still get to know each other, and you trust what that person's doing, then work out how you're gonna see each other.
Work out your rotation. Work out the rotation.
But you're not moving.
Because you can't move in with me. And I mean, a lot of people, like, it's just crazy. Like, I just kept reading blog after blog of, we met like a month before quarantine and we hit it off. And then I was like, we just decided, hey, why don't we try it? So we just quarantine together.
But like, did they give up their own place, or they're just in the place?
Oh, they still have their own place. So they just picked a place. They picked one of whoever.
Interesting, though. That's kind of interesting.
But I still don't know if I could technically just be like, hey, let's move it.
No,
I don't know.
I think for me, getting out of my comfort zone and trying to take care of me on the intimate level like that this year.
Yeah.
If I met someone, let's say like December.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like quarantine here with me all the time. But
like
a flip flop.
Like we can alternate weeks. 3 days on, 2 days, something like that.
Like, but agreement, you're not gonna go anywhere. We're gonna really keep it to that. We're in the home.
We're good. You're going.
Yeah, but no, you're not moving in together. But that also plays a part into, there was a scenario going around. You probably saw it as well. And it could happen. You're with someone right now, they get furloughed or they get straight laid off.
True. Yeah.
And they have bills to pay. And some landlords want their money still. There's not anything in for that.
Yeah. There's nothing. I don't know. We would have to figure out something.
You better
I gotta do like the Bible said Jesus did. I gotta draw on the dirt and think about. Look, I gotta think about that.
All I know is hubby real lucky he got you now, because I'm telling you, listen, bacon. You're like, I don't know.
I would have been like, so what other plans do you have? Where's your family? I could drive you if you need me to take you. I can help out. I can help you pack. We'll just make it work. But that whole.
But the funny thing is, there's been a lot of engagements and marriages, and there's been a lot of breakups. Yeah,
and that's what I don't think people really think about, because like you said, the whole intensity of it all, the whole the whole buzz and anxiety and everything around COVID, it's like, oh my gosh, this is well, let's just try it because we don't know what's going to happen after this. And then you go back to regular life.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with regular life things.
I think with COVID-19, coronavirus, it is exposing the fantasies that we live in that's not reality. Exposing that, you know what, you really are a good guy or a good girl. Like I really got a good one. Because some people thrive when it comes to this is like okay, and you really have someone who is there for you, you're there for them. We're like, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, we're gonna make it work.
It, to me, will expose my parenting skills are not that great. Exposing my child is not as smart as I thought they were.
Yeah, that they're not as gifted as I thought they were.
They were
But
fools.
I thought it was just the teachers. I thought it was the teachers.
Yeah, teachers have a really hard job because my child is bad as shit.
Yes.
You know, and it could be their environment that they're in, that they're projecting type of thing.
Yeah, that's the reason why they're bad.
And now you're in
like we could get if we could form good relationships with them at school, we could kind of rein them in, get like a mutual type of respect deal. But if your kid just bad as hell, that's a reflection on you.
Let me ask you one more last question about the education and teachers. So what do you think it will look like come fall?
I don't know. I honestly don't have any clue. I do think formatting will change. This is exposing some district shortfalls when it comes to using technology in the classroom.
Not just the district teachers. I have heard a lot have been retiring.
Yeah, because they don't understand that in order for our kids to be successful in this day and age, we have to integrate technology in our lessons. That, it's not like it was, it's just not. I would say when we were younger, but we started using technology when we were, when we got to college, they had computer labs, so it's just, it's exposing those type of things, that technology is needed in the classroom. It's also exposing, it's going to be hard because the United States allows pretty much a large number of children in one classroom, so it's hard to say how we're going to social distance in a classroom in a school that's already overcrowded. Like how do you do that? So we're going to have to, there's a lot of thought that's going to have to go into this for it to be effective next year, especially since, projections are showing we're going to get another wave of this, and viruses mutate. I don't think people think about biology. Viruses mutate to fit their environment to continue to survive. So we don't know what's going to happen in the fall.
We're going to have a Walking Dead situation. I don't care anybody said. I'm ready.
I guess we're ready. Chris wants an AR-15 and I don't want one, but at this point I think we're gonna have to.
I'm going to go old school and have me an axe and a machete.
Yeah, we got a hatchet. I think we're gonna get a machete.
I'm ready.
Yeah. I just feel like, and so we had so as a family, we had a conversation yesterday, and we were saying what type of zombies we would want. Would we want Walking Dead or World War Z?
Walking Dead.
Well, I said, I know World War Z is scary, but I'm being selfish. And because I have an underlying genetic condition for blood clotting, they wouldn't hurt me.
Fuck your family. I'm going to be straight.
I was just thinking about all these things. I was like, and hubby will be fine. He has high blood pressure. They don't want that. We were just like going, you know what I'm saying? See? So you would think, like, do you want ones that are very prejudiced, or do you want, the slow moving, the fast moving prejudiced zombies, or do you want the slow moving, just I'll eat whatever zombies?
I think in reality though, I'd want the slow moving because you have enough time to set up and build perimeters around foolishness.
That's true.
Them things in World War Z was climbing over to like waves of water.
Yeah.
There's no on the airplane.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Like it's done. It's done on an airplane like that. We saw it. It was done. Airplanes falling out the sky.
When that one bag fell, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all.
What do you think gonna happen with sports for school?
We are going to it. So I will say this, it's kind of like what happened during the swine flu and when what is that called? Not is it MRSA? What is that? The staph infection, the one that can be like cured. So we, sports has endured, high school sports has endured stuff like this a lot. So they have already taking precautions into making sure athletes stay healthy. You don't share water bottles. You don't. We always disinfect weight benches and everything when we're in the weight room. I just think it'll make sure that people are putting these things into place who weren't doing it. Like now we have to, because COVID-19 is a respiratory, thing. It's not a skin thing that you can just hurry up and get over. So you have to take those precautions for your athletes, not just the healthy ones, but the ones who have asthma, the ones who have underlying medical conditions. That doesn't mean they're horrible athletes. That makes them amazing athletes. But you have to really make sure that when we're fighting this virus, or when we're doing anything with this virus, for those type of students, we have to be very, very like to the T with that type of stuff. Because I just think, like, I wouldn't want my kid to get it, or if I had it, I don't want to give it to anybody else. So what precautions can I take so that I don't make anybody else sick? That's always been my thought. Yeah.
Look, Janae, I want you to bring up
yes
this thing that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Bill Gates.
Yes, I think it's more so, you want to be honest, it's just all the conspiracy theories that are about that.
Okay.
That are around COVID. Like, we heard, if you saw the 5G network is the thing that's causing COVID-19, which I don't even understand how, like, just literally that's not how biology works. It's just not. It's that, and how this is still, you still have people who are saying it's still a hoax. And, I won't get infected, when clearly the studies are now showing that African Americans are top in dying. So, we're up there because we have underlying health conditions. So all of these things, and then another thing is Bill Gates and what's his name, what's the doctor's Fucci? I don't want to say his name.
I can't pronounce the name.
I don't ever say his name. That they're in cahoots, and that they made the virus so they could come up with a vaccine for it so he can make millions. He already has millions. Like, what? I don't understand why people don't get that just because someone has money, that doesn't make them evil. To me, if you think somebody is rich who's trying to help out, if you think that they're doing something, they have an underlying like cause, or just something's, they're evil, that means that you will do the same. And that's why you can't get no money now.
And there it is. So she said what she said, man. She said what she said.
Just saying.
Janae, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. I really wanted to get the perspective from a teacher on how this has been and how you're dealing with it. And I know you miss your students, you miss your kids. It's a different type of thing. And
it is.
Distance learning is great for a short term, but if you didn't sign up for that, it's hard.
It's hard.
And
it's not.
Your kids need.
Yeah.
But besides all of that, please tell everyone what's up next for Confessions from a Red Couch, where to find you, what you got going
on. So Confessions from a Red Couch, we will have an episode, or I keep saying we, like somebody else is helping me. It's just me.
Your hubby helps you sometimes.
Yeah, he does. He comes on and co-hosts, and it's always fun. But I'm recording an episode Wednesday, and hopefully technology acts right and I can actually go live and record. Hopefully, fingers crossed and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna have an episode out this Wednesday, and like I said earlier, it was about dating and COVID-19 and how it's changing. It's gonna change. And then I have one more episode that'll come out next week and then I am on break because I'm tired. I realized I had been pumping out episodes since January.
Take a break. I do it all the time.
Yeah, every week since January, and I was like, "Oh no, girl, we gotta slow down." So yeah, I'm taking a month of May off just to kind of rebrand, not really rebrand, but just get some better systems in place. I'm doing pretty good, and I'm learning some things because this has brought about, we got to make do what we do, and we got to learn some new skills. So we had to learn some new skills.
And money is funny. Even if you have coming in, it may not be coming in next time. So
exactly. So you gotta make do with what you have to make do. And so I plan to, hone in on my craft and make sure things are right. So when I come back for season 3, like you, I'm gonna be pew 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 blowing them out the water. Pew pew.
Listen, I've learned so much from you and Frank Styles from the 336 Pull Up podcast and
the boys.
Yes, and from Misha with her, the melanated veteran, she's done so well. Like, started and do it. And it's just one thing I love about our podcast community. I don't know about anyone else's, but our podcast community, who we've met and work with, we encourage wellness. We encourage mental wellness. We encourage taking that break. What you need help with, and there's no one looking for anything from you when you get it. Just like not even promotion. Just if you need some help, let me help you. It's like, okay.
Yeah, let me help you. It's nothing else. It's nothing. And I think that's what, I think that's what we're missing now in the world. Just helping each other out just because, not because, you want recognition for it, not because, you want to come back and be like, yeah, I did that for them. It's just helping somebody else out because you want somebody to do that for you. It's kindness, showing appreciation and showing kindness for one another. That's what we're missing in this world.
So where can we find your podcast, ma'am?
You could go to confessionsfromaredcouch.com and you could click on, there's a player. As soon as you get on there, there's a player. It'll start playing the podcast. You can also catch it on all major listening platforms, including iHeartRadio and hopefully Pandora here shortly. I'm hoping. I'm waiting on that. So Pandora and Spotify and all those good things. Right now I am in, I guess you could say I'm the what is it? He didn't call me the CEO. I am the director of operations of All or None Catering. So
listen,
so if you were looking,
it's just 2 of y'all. That's some good. Listen,
yeah, that's big stuff. So if you were looking
on your CV, add it on your
right, definitely. If you are looking to, if you're tired of cooking, because I know you are, hit up All or None Catering to meet your meal prep or meal needs. He's doing a quarantine and chill meal each week during COVID and isolation and all that good stuff.
And that's the Houston area, Houston and surrounding areas.
Yeah, Houston and surrounding areas. So
how far is he delivering?
He will deliver about 30 miles out. So that's pretty big. That's pretty big.
They're gonna touch that. They're gonna touch where I'm at.
I think you in there. You in there.
I'm in there. I'm in there. I can. We can meet and do that 6 foot. Hit it from the pole.
Exactly. Yeah. He'll make it. We'll make it happen.
Make it happen. Janae, I want to say thank you so much for your insight, your love, and your constant support of this show.
Of course.
What I'm doing, and I just love what you're doing. Janae Show, Confession from a Red Couch podcast, and read her blog.
Yeah.
Janae is an educator, a wife, a mom, an published author.
Oh yeah.
Blogger.
Forget that sometimes.
Entrepreneur. Her show is nothing but positivity.
Yes.
Wellness, new direction, almost like a self-help, self-awareness show.
Yeah, self-awareness show. And we do it all with, humor and sarcasm, a little dash of ratchet in there, because
it's
already. Yes, it is.
Mine is more R.
Yeah, it's about PG-13 tilting on, tilted.
on MA.
Yeah. Amen.
But I want to say thank you for taking time out before you start your break in May.
Thank
You helped me
you.
kick off season 3 of my podcast, and this is a series of shows talking about living through COVID-19.
Living through it.
Thing, and we're all going through it. And thank you so much for coming on and giving us your insight and your knowledge and your wisdom. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
And everyone, please, thank you for tuning in. You can find this show on all your streaming platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Speaker. If it's out there, you can find it there. Hopefully Pandora pretty soon. That would be awesome. Please follow my YouTube channel because the video will be up on YouTube, and catch us on Facebook as well and Instagram. Shall You Proceed Podcast. I will see you on next time. Bye.